Let's do it. We're live.
Hey everybody, welcome to Sideline Sports. My co-host Denzel Snipes. Special guest today, Las Vegas Raiders defensive back Sam Webb, starting center for the Birmingham Stallions, Cole Schneider. Welcome guys, thanks for being here.
Yep,
Thanks for
no
having
doubt.
me.
Denzel, do you want to get us started?
Yeah, absolutely. Coach Schneider. So I see you played at Central Florida. You had is it two preseasons with the Green Bay Packers. You currently play for the Birmingham Stallions. Tell us a little bit about yourself. As far as like whenever you played at Central Florida and different experiences you had there.
I had quite a few experiences there. I was there for 5 years, played with three different coaching staffs. So a lot of knowledge, a lot of new experiences, and a lot of things that entailed with that. And, it was an absolute blast, within the football aspect of it, as well as, learning a lot of life lessons from a lot of different guys who had a lot of time in this league and in football, and absolutely appreciative of it, number one. But um, man, it's a lot of the locker room and off the field stuff with my guys that I have those life experiences with were second to none. And then
Hmm.
football, first and foremost, man. Football down in Florida, man, it's something different. So having a lot of those guys there and a lot of those hometown guys, it's a very special thing, man. It's a very special thing, and I'm absolutely grateful for it.
No, absolutely. And then Sam, Mr. Webb, you played at Missouri West. Can you still hear us?
Yeah, my bad.
Oh,
I'm
okay. Kind
driving
of.
right now.
Okay, I got you. I got you. So you played at Missouri Western. Tell us about your experiences out there.
One
You
more
dropped
time,
out
my
again.
bad. My phone was connecting.
Oh, no problem. So you played at Missouri Western. Tell us about your experiences out there.
Oh yeah, so at Mo West, it was a small D2 up north in Missouri. Y'all can hear me?
We hear you. Go ahead.
Hello? Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a small D2 up north in Missouri, and I kind of just went where I was gonna get paid. I also had two different coaching staffs that I was underneath, and it was a medium small college town, so it wasn't nothing crazy. One of the perks that we had was that the Chiefs actually used our facilities during camp.
Oh,
So
okay.
because of that, we was able to have like an indoor facility, hot and cold tub, stuff like that, nice classrooms. But other than that, I feel like the competition in that conference is really good, and I feel like it helped me prepare for the league as much as I could. But other than that, it was meeting good people, and some of my lifelong friends are still from my roommates from college.
Oh, okay. Then that's what's up. Sean, do you have anything? Go ahead.
Yeah, Sam, on that note, so I know, coming from a D2, things are a little different. Tell us how the small school guys are kind of preparing for this weekend.
Um, you mean like just in general?
Yeah,
I would say they, depending on what route they was able to take. Not every D2, because I know it was a lot of guys that came out with me that didn't have the opportunity to sign an agent or get training paid for, stuff like that. So it's a lot of like getting it out the mud, I would say, and like establishing relationships with people they do know in the league, and then trying to like learn as much as they can before they get there. Like I know one thing that I needed to work on was like uh, learning different positions and not just my main position. And other than that, I would say like just like being in the best shape possible, because you don't want to be that one D2 dude that come to camp and he ain't in shape. You know what I'm saying? Because then they'll give him the fastest reason to cut you. So I know that there's a couple guys I know that got a good chance of coming out. Cam Grandy, he was one of my tight ends I played with, and then Trey Vavel, he played at Minnesota something. D2 is a D2 in Minnesota, but both of them got good chances of getting their name called or getting that call after the draft. So
all good
Okay.
stuff. And Cole, playing at UCF, obviously you guys in a bigger conference, kind of more attention on you because the scouts are a little deeper in there. And how do you compare that to kind of what Sam was saying in terms of what you were dealing with week in and week out at UCF with the scouts kind of always being there and in front of you?
Yeah, I definitely think just based on the size of the college and the conference, it's a little bit more skewed. You know, competition levels and all those things do play specific roles, and there's guys there all the time, scouts coming to watch those guys, and really just have to make yourself stand apart. If you really aren't there on their radar, it's just I feel like it gives you a little bit more of a streamline to catch someone's attention. Really, back when we were in the AAC, now in the Big 12. Um, it was definitely not as easy as it would have been in the Big 12. A lot of guys are getting a lot more looks, and um, it plays two different ways. So I feel like for me, honestly, it was just trying to be able to stand out. Being the average size I am, maybe even a little bit smaller in the scale of my position. I still feel like there's a little bit of a chip on the shoulder with all the looks. So I mean, you just got to play to your advantage and stick to it.
And on that point, speak to that some more, Kolka. And both of you had the similar knocks that guys would have coming out of your schools. But remember when we heard about the small hands from the Dallas Cowboys? Speak to how, as a player, kind of what that does to your mental and what you think about some of these measurements that get taken into so much account during this week.
Yeah, for sure. Like one that really got me on was the arm length. That was a big thing for me. They really skewed on was the arm length, and I feel like it just kind of fuels the fire. And looking to prove somebody wrong and prove coaches wrong that you're able to. It's not that big of a deal. It's not going to make that much separation between you and the next guy. So I definitely think it fuels the fire for me personally, and just being able to prove them wrong and pretty much, yeah.
And Sam, obviously, what we heard all day was D2 competition. Can he do it at the next level? Can you kind of speak to that and speak to what these guys are hearing when they're getting these phone calls this weekend?
I don't think I ever really I understood they was gonna hang that over my head. You know what I'm saying? Can he hang with the big dogs or whatever? But it's as long as you believe in your athleticism and your ability to play the game, then you're gonna be straight, to be honest, because I think the biggest difference in the game is in the trenches, the O line and D line. And I think, Cole, that, firsthand, you feel me? You go to an NAIA D2 school, the O line, D line is completely different from a D1 school. But if you you take a corner or a safety from a D2 or a Power 5 school, they not gonna look too different. You feel me? They just gonna have maybe a different skill set or mindset, but they might have the same amount of athleticism. You know what I'm saying? So I think as long as you got confidence, you're gonna be able to do whatever you need to do.
I kind of figured that because the athleticism now the way that they play and the defensive schemes may differ, but the athleticism stays the same. That's the kind of the reason why and you guys have been through the NFL Combine. They have generally the same drills, because it tests your strength and your athleticism. Because no matter what team you go to, schemes are different. Not only that, I mean the playbooks, teams are going to differ, but that skill set, that core skill set, is going to be there. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would definitely agree. And like I said, once you get to the league, they not looking at you as he's this and that. They looking at you as is it one thing and one thing only? Is he making plays? Can he play? You feel me? And that's it.
Right. Coles, anything to add to that?
No, he pretty much hit the nail on the head with that one. It's especially with my short time there, it wasn't really they weren't talking about the measurements. They weren't talking this. They weren't talking that. It's can you get the job done? You know what I mean? So I think that's first and foremost once you actually get yourself into that position.
Once you get there, it's like they don't see you. And Sam hit it. Once you get there, you're not going to be seen as a D2 player. You're not going to be seen as a D1 or anything like that. Someone deems you good enough to play at the professional level, right? So from that time, you're known as a pro. They don't care if you come from a D2, a D3, or a D1. You're a pro. Like any coach will tell you, you're a pro. You're in the NFL now, or you're in, So that actually is really good. They must know this when they get picked up this weekend. Yeah, everyone's got different alma maters, but everyone is combined, and I'm trying to think of the word here, on the same team at the professional level. Sean, do you have anything?
No, I think those are great points, and as we speak about this weekend, you know, you guys both got the call, late Saturday after the draft, and then went off to rookie camp. Can you guys kind of talk to the experience that these guys are going to go through these next 2 to 3 weeks? Cole, if you want to start us off.
Yeah, for sure. Start out with rookie mini camp. You got the jitters after the call, and all you can think about is that next date and is when you're supposed to report, and when you can actually get in front of a set of eyes and show them what you're able to do and what you're capable of at that level. Like we were just talking about before, everyone being the same level doesn't matter where you came from. Everyone's wearing that same NFL seal on, so it's time to prove that you're able to put up with it and so that you can make the team. And like I said, it's the excitement overall after that phone call is second to none. Um, but immediately after, it has to be your next focus is I got to make the team. I got to stay. I got to have a great camp. These are all the things that you're going to put forth in preparation, just like somebody did for pro day or the combine. It's just right back to work. You know what I mean? So kind of don't lose your craft. Hone in on your craft and keep making strides. Don't be content with where you are. Always look to improve.
I had question for both of you, beginning with Cole, because you made note of your next focus is making the team. Describe for everyone that pressure. As immense as it was, I know everyone's different. Sam might have felt the same way, he may have felt different, but describe that kind of pressure of making the team and what you have to do and the amount of focus and work that you have to put into it.
I feel like the pressure really is, all the weight on your shoulders that you feel like the people that you're doing it for, the people that have supported you all the way through this, since you first put the pads on, and you always had that dream. You started talking about that dream of where you want to be and being in the NFL, and I feel like you feel the weight of everybody on your shoulders. It's not just you. It's not just for you anymore. So I think that plays a huge role in it for, I'd say, almost every one of the guys that tries to make it to the NFL. Um, but yeah, that's the one thing is just doing it for others and not doing it for yourself. And there's a bigger picture to it. Um, but if you're able to hone in on that and focus on what you need to do and who you're doing it for, or even if it's just doing it for yourself, I feel like that's the biggest pressure when it comes to making a team. I think so for sure.
Absolutely. And Sam, what about you?
I would say it's a tremendous amount of pressure, but you know what? Honestly, after being in it for a couple years, you know, don't nobody care for real, and you still got to be able to um, lock in at the most crucial times. You know what I'm saying? Like them camp practices. You got scouts' eyes on you, the assistant coach's eyes on you. Like every little thing you doing in the building, like it really do make a difference. Cause like they say every day is like an interview, and I think that's like the realest thing. Like that might sound cliche or whatever, but like that's exactly what's going on. You feel me? Like at this level, it's a business, and like what I'm saying, they not going you know lose money over a player that they don't really mess with. So. Um, yeah, you're gonna feel a lot of pressure day in and day out, long days for sure. But I mean, we've been doing this for however many years now, so it's like, you gotta just lock in and get comfortable.
Okay, absolutely, Sean.
No, and both of them. You guys both been at it for 2 years now. Both your paths are a little different. Cole, can you kind of speak to how you've been able to kind of stay focused? Making it through the preseason, but then kind of getting cut on that last day. How what that kind of does to you, and then bouncing back and playing these UFL seasons, and how it helps you improve your game as you're going back to camp this year.
Yeah, honestly, it's it's just it's bound to happen. Things are gonna happen. You can't harp on it too much. Just looking for the next step you can take forward. Honestly, that's the main focal point. I feel like is just keep a streamlined view and just full steam ahead. I just don't want to sit there and harp on it and drag on about it. It could have been this, could have been that. It was I did this right, you did that right. So just take things in stride, really, and just keep pushing forward.
And Sam, you've had some interesting situations last year. Getting taken off a practice squad by Carolina. and then getting back to the Las Vegas Raiders a couple weeks later. Can you kind of speak to that as a player's mental jumping from team to team and what you have to do to just kind of make sure you get picked up, that God forbid you do get waived, at any point?
Yeah, I feel like I had, created a good relationship with a lot of the guys with the Raiders, not just like the players, but like the coaching staffs, the scouts and stuff like that. So, it was kind of, I wouldn't say it was a hard decision, but it was like, tough. Obviously, my family's there and stuff like that. But like I said, don't nobody care about any of that. You got to go and get paid and get your credit this season, whatever you got to do. You feel me? So, when the opportunity came up, I hesitated a little bit just because of, some family stuff. But at the end of the day, I knew that one, I was going to get paid, and two, I was going to get my credit this season. So there really wasn't no other option, honestly. So, um, and I have a lot of vets that I've gotten close to over my past couple years with the Raiders, and like, just talking to them, understanding how this league is like, you got to get as much out of it as you can because they gonna get as much out as you as they can get. You feel me? So, vice versa, you got to get yours when you can.
Anything to add that, Denzel?
Totally agree. Everyone's got different backgrounds. I don't know where any y'all might have come from, but Cole said, you know, there's somebody that you might be doing it for, whether it's yourself or somebody else, the people that supported you. And I always say this all the time: is there are some people who they come from nothing. Some people who come from a little bit and then just kind of came of age, and now they got to go out there and get it themselves. Wherever they come from, wherever the motivation is you do have to make a living. And keep in mind, you're playing a brutal sport. You know, a sport where careers don't last that long. And so whenever Sam Webb mentioned, just going out and getting paid, and I always tell folks, as far as football goes, is you got to go and get as much money as you can while you can play, you know, and then leave the game and have a nice little cushion, like that first big contract, take it. So I mean, granted, yeah, you might do a little bit of negotiating. I'm sure here's Sean would tell you, him being a sports agent and everything like that. But yeah, it's about making a living, and doing good for yourself. So, Cole, would you agree that something like this you can make a living and have a nice little cushion for, and essentially be set for for life?
Absolutely, yeah. Especially if you're smart with your money and you do everything right and you plan ahead of time. I mean, that's a lot of the stuff like going through training. They were teaching us a lot of things about finances. I had no idea about where to put your money and how to be smart with it, and especially just being prepared for any costs ahead of time, and just taking everything into account. So I think if you have a foolproof plan and you know what you're doing and where you're going to put your money, and you're not going to be overly stingy about it, I feel like you can plan yourself a good plan for sure.
Mhm. Sam, anything to add?
And yeah, as long as you good with your money, you can do whatever you want to do. Honestly, especially if you make it to that second contract where you see some M's. It's all about how well you are with spending it. You know what I'm saying? That's all I would say for me.
Right.
No, I
Absolutely.
think you
Sean?
guys both make good points. And then, just to hear you guys' final thoughts here as we wrap up, both you, Sam and Cole, as we head towards this weekend. You guys have any thoughts on, the first couple picks here on the draft coming up? Sam, you want to start us off?
Like, who's gonna go first round?
Well, Cole, you want to jump in while Sam's connection refreshes?
Honestly, it's up in the air for me. I just heard that Sketch is going to be announcing for Houston a pick, so that's kind of that's big time out here. If you guys aren't familiar with Sketch, it's a big ordeal for Houston, I guess. But
Mhm.
I'm not too sure, honestly. I don't really deep dive. I haven't been doing too much with football and what's going on. I just know my guy at Miami right now, Matt Lee, center. He's one to keep your eyes on for sure. He's definitely a guy you want to keep your eyes on. He can do it all. Smartest guy I know. That's going to be a big time seeing where he ends up.
Sounds good. And Sam?
Okay.
Nah, I'm the same way, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I don't deep dive on the draft and stuff like that. But I know it's a lot of commotion about who we gonna get. So I'm gonna just be really watching the Raiders pick.
And just add to that a little bit. How much information is the team kind of letting you guys in on? How much talking you guys excited about who you guys might take here early in the first round?
Man, I mean, I hope we get some solid pieces, but I know we're gonna get a quarterback. We might get a corner, outside linebacker, all of them key pieces that we're gonna need to like really put it together. But I'm just excited to, you feel me, like, get everything put back together so we can like, get this train rolling because I feel like we got a good squad. We just need, some little extra pieces here and there. So.
I appreciate it. I really appreciate you guys joining us here on the show tonight. Any final thoughts as we send you guys off to get back to work, Cole?
No, man, not too much. I appreciate you guys having me on, and excited to see what goes on this weekend.
Sam?
Nah, it's all good. Appreciate you, Sean.
Hey, thanks
Appreciate
both
you
y'all
guys.
for coming on. All right, Sean, you want to wrap? Well, no, Sean heard me. All right, well, that's it for Sports Business Insider for this week. I'm Denzel Snipes along with Sean Russi. We will see you all next week. Later.